Hello, my friends. Imagine it's year 2000 and you are running the biggest movie rental company on the planet. You have 9,000 stores worldwide, you make millions every day, and then all of a sudden, two guys show up at your office. They are running a tiny DVD by email service that is also losing money. And then they offer to sell you the entire company just for $50 million. You look at their numbers, you look at their idea, and you laugh them right out of the building. That actually happened. And that one decision, one single no, and one single laughter would cost your company, Blockbuster Video, $5 billion and its entire existence. This is the story of the day Blockbuster laughed at Netflix and why it might be the most expensive laugh in business history. Let's set the scene. The year is 2000. Friday nights mean one thing, going to Blockbuster. You would spend forever looking for a movie only to find out it was already taken. Each rental would cost $4, and if you forget to return the movie, you will be extra charged. The whole experience was literally frustrating. Blockbuster's entire business model was built on three simple rules. First, scarcity. Every store had maybe 10 copies of the hottest new movie, so you would rush there after school or work, search for your movie and hope it wasn't already gone. No guarantees at all. Second, transaction fee. You didn't subscribe, you paid every single time. About $4 for every new release. Third, the late fee machine. This was their secret weapon. You forget to return a movie on time, you will be charged $3 or $4 extra. Multiply that by millions of customers. Blockbuster wasn't just a store. It was an empire. 9,000 stores, 60,000 employees. And their secret weapon, yes, it was late fees. They made $800 million per year just from people returning movie late. Netflix. Meanwhile, in Silicon Valley, two guys had a different idea. These were Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph. They started Netflix in 1997 with a simple concept, DVDs by mail. No late fees, just monthly subscriptions. Keep the movies as long as you want. Blockbuster's $4 per rental versus Netflix $20 per month unlimited. There was just one problem. In 2000, Netflix was tiny. They had 300,000 subscribers, but they were losing money. On the other hand, Blockbuster had 65 million. This wasn't just competition at all. So in 2000, Netflix made a desperate move. They went to Blockbuster headquarters in Dallas and proposed a deal. Netflix would run Blockbuster's online brand and Blockbuster would promote Netflix in its stores. And eventually, Blockbuster would buy Netflix for $50 million. But Blockbuster CEO John Antioco looked at this deal and only saw the problems. First, Netflix was losing money. Second, Blockbuster made $800 million from late fee, so Netflix no late fee model would kill that. And third, in fact, they didn't just get this idea. So they said no. They laughed Netflix right out of the room, and Blockbuster went back to do what they were doing the best, renting VHS tapes. What happened next is a masterclass in strategic focus. Rejected and humiliated, Netflix returned to Silicon Valley with brutal clarity. They couldn't beat Blockbuster at their game, so they invented a completely new one. They realized that by mailing DVDs, they were building something Blockbuster never had. So this was direct relationship with the customers. They exactly knew what they watched, when did they watch, and for how long. So they built the recommendations algorithm. That because you watched feature wasn't just convenient, it was genius. It made customers feel understood and kept them subscribed month after month. While Blockbuster was tracking late returns, Netflix was tracking taste patterns. They grew to 1 million subscribers, then 5 million, and then to 10 millions. Finally, in 2004, they launched Blockbuster Online. They also dropped late fee, but it was too late. They were playing catch up in a race Netflix had already running for years. And then in 2007, Netflix changed it all. They introduced streaming, not just mailing DVDs, instant movies on the internet. They changed everything. Blockbuster was still thinking about physical stores and physical DVDs. Netflix was thinking about the internet in your pockets. The end game came quickly. In 2010, Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy. They closed 1,000 stores that year alone. By 2014, that last corporate store was gone. That $5 billion empire reduced to a single lonely store in Oregon that became a meme. And Netflix, that $50 million company Blockbuster laughed at, today its worth is over $250 billion. And it has 250 million subscribers worldwide. It's not just a streaming service, it's a Hollywood studio a cultural phenomenon. So let's do the math. Blockbuster said no to buying Netflix for $50 million. That decision eventually cost them their own $5 billion company and made Netflix worth $250 billion. That might be the worst laughter in business history. Now here is something really fascinating. In interviews years later, the Blockbuster CEO admitted something incredible. He said, of all the decisions I made at Blockbuster, the one I regret most is not buying Netflix. And Reed Hastings of Netflix said something even more revealing. He said, thank God they didn't buy us. They would have crushed the dream. Because here is the truth. Blockbuster didn't just fail to see the technology, they failed to see the philosophy. Thank you so much.